Welcome to Passenger in the Seat. This is our series where we talk about all the things. If you're new here, go ahead and like and subscribe. You were talking about a podcast.
Yeah, so it's an old podcast. It's Andrew Huberman's podcast. Is an old clip. He's talking to David Goggins, and the clip was about, I think it was called the interior mid-central cortex or something like that. It's a crazy name. But it's basically a part of the brain that gets bigger the more you do the things that you don't want to do. And he's talking to Goggins about it because Goggins is all about pushing through things that are uncomfortable and just breaking through what people perceive is actually possible from the human body. And Goggins said something. He's like, yeah, people always come up to me and they say like, "Wow, you were so blessed with willpower." And he was like, Simon finds it funny when people say that he's blessed with willpower. He was like, no, dude. He doesn't say dude, but he says, no, it's something you work on. It's something you build. Yeah, I don't just have it. It's something that you earn by doing the things that you don't want to do. You can always seek out. People always graduate from the hard thing and they never want to go back. But I realize I don't want to go back, but I have to and must go back because that's where secrets of my life exist. And he's always lived that way. And it's to hear Huberman actually describe an actual physiological thing that happens in your brain when you do that. It gets bigger. You become more able to handle things like that. And that's very linked to like willpower. But the crazy thing is the more you build it, it can actually decrease in size just as quickly. As soon as you decide, I don't want to be pushing myself, I don't want to keep doing it, I want to be comfortable, it gets smaller. And they begin to realize in the studies that people that live longer lives, generally, that part of the brain's bigger. So the people that constantly push and seek the uncomfortable and put themselves in that position and do it, even though they don't want to do it, they tend to live longer, and that piece of the brain's like bigger. So they studied like athletes, like professional athletes, compared to like people that are obese generally. And generally what they saw is that part of the brain in people that are obese where it was smaller, and athletes like pro athletes, that part of the brain was bigger because they're constantly pushing and putting themselves and trying to grow past where they are, even if they don't want to. And I thought that was super interesting because it's like you always think about willpower as like this thing, just like a concept, but you actually can get better at it. You can actually build your willpower physically.
It's a muscle.
It's like it's literally like in your brain, a piece in your brain that gets bigger the more you decide to push. And the tricky thing is it has to be something you don't want to do. You used ice baths as an example. You don't want to do ice baths. You hate it, but you push yourself to do it anyway. That helps grow that piece of the brain. That helps grow your willpower. But for some people, after they do it a couple of times, they're like excited about it. They're like, oh, you know what? I felt great. And all of a sudden they like doing it, and then they do it. It's not the same.
I still hate it.
I know you still hate it, but
I don't enjoy it.
so every time you do it, it'll grow that piece of brain. It will grow the piece that's related to willpower.
I think also like waking up and doing cardio at like 5 something in the morning.
Yeah, that's what
I still don't. It's not something that I really want to do. I'm choosing to do it. I have a goal in mind. And even after I complete this competition, I probably will still get up and do it because I think it's a healthy habit to have.
it's pushing everyone else to get up earlier too. And I think getting up early is a very good habit to build in our kids, for sure, in ourselves.
Yeah.
And then our kids as well.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to willpower, something that I'm learning is you can do what you set your mind to. So if I tell myself I can't do it, I can't do it, right? So now I'm very intentional about what I say and what I think, because I find myself saying, what did I say the other day? So I was saying something the other day like, yeah, I can't do a pull-up. I'm like, well, let me correct that. I haven't been able to do one yet, right? Yes. And so it's like building that up and building that upper body, you know? Also, it's like I noticed the other day I was saying something like, oh, I can't do a handstand. I'm like, no. I haven't been able to do one yet. So things that I'm like working on, because if I set my mind to it, I can do it, right? Like, and it's not like, oh, I'm gonna magically do it. No, it's gonna be with practice and hard work and the mindset of I can achieve this and I will achieve it. It may take me 10 times, it may take me 15 times, it may take me 20 times, it may take me several months, but I'll eventually get it, right? If I set my mind to it.
Yeah, like sometimes I hear the whole like you gotta think into reality. Damn, it's so like wow, dang, but woo woo, kid, woo woo. It's like you have to be able to see it at least. I think there's some truth to that. If you don't think it's possible, then you're never gonna get it. You have to actually be able to see it in your mind, and then obviously you have to work towards making it happen. But if you can't even see it, then like even do it. Like,
Yeah, so you have to envision it. And so, like, this bikini competition, going into it, it's my first one, right? So it's my first fit model division going into it. And since day one, I have envisioned myself on the stage with the trophy in my hand, period.
do your trophies.
First place.
Oh, that's cool.
But there's a medal
Okay.
for each class you win. You win like a medal. I think if you win overall, you get there's like a trophy, and then there's like a whole bag of
I
good.
need a trophy case.
So, and of course, there's been some self doubt along the way, and there's been some like thoughts that had gotten in there. But at the end of the day, I envisioned myself winning because, yes, I did this as like a bucket list thing, but also it's like, well, if I'm not trying to hit for gold, then what am I doing? Right? Like, am I just doing it to half-ass it? No, you're in it to win it. You got to have a winner mindset. Because what's going to push you when you're feeling tired? What's going to push you when you're like, oh, I'm just doing this to bucket list it? I'm not trying to win anything. No, 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 no. That doesn't work. Like, you have to have a goal in mind. The goal is to win.
Yeah, you can just sign up.
Yeah.
Like anyone can just sign up. Like
Anybody can sign up.
pay the money, right?
You pay you pay a fortune. It's an expensive sport.
Yeah. So if
It's like $dollars.
if skydiving was on your bucket list, you just pay the money and do it.
Right.
If this was just your bucket list, you're just gonna pay the money and you get up there.
Yeah.
But there's a difference when you're trying to win it.
Yeah.
You know, you're pushing yourself. When you want to eat that cookie, you think to yourself, my competitions probably want to eat a cookie too, but they're not going to, so I'm not going to.
See, I didn't think of it like that. It's more just I'm hard on myself. So I think more about, is this going to affect me in the long run? Am I going to feel bad after I eat it? Let's not eat it, And there's been times that I want to, there's been times that I have. And I'm like, all right, okay, that's it. Also the reward of not eating it is so much greater.
That's exactly what the podcast was talking about.
Because I'm like, I overcame that challenge.
That's exactly
There's food sitting around, and I overcame eating it, even though it looks really good, even though it smells really good. And I'm on this super strict diet, and what I want to eat is all of this. And being able to say no, it is definitely very rewarding.
Yeah, he was also talking about Huberman in that podcast. He was saying how it gets bigger when you do something like that, but also you get like this little dopamine kick. Dopamine kick. It's like for example, you wake up in the morning, you're freaking sleepy, and you do not want to go running.
Right.
And then 20 minutes into your run, you feel amazing, because you did it. You're doing it, and you get that dopamine kick. Doing the thing you don't want to do.
That's why I feel like I cry when my heart rate hits to 135 because it's so challenging for me to get my heart rate up.
And it's easier to just say, hey, 120 is fine.
Yeah, it's easy for me to say, hey, I'm doing it at least. Giving myself grace.
That self-talk.
It's that self-talk of like, hey, at least I'm doing it. I'm on the treadmill. I made it here. But then it's like what my coach said the other day, you have to dig deeper. You have to push harder. And when you feel like cruising, that's when you put
on the gas.
That's when you put your foot on the gas to the pedal.
You want to metal the gas.
Pedal to the metal? Yeah, so when you want to, don't take your foot off the gas is like basically what she was saying. And like just pushing forward and digging deeper. And when you want to just cruise out and be like, okay, this is good enough, I'm trying, that's when you have to really push. Even when the body's hurting and you're tired and mentally you're exhausted. And so I did that the other day, and that's why I was crying. I mean, I got my heart rate 150, and I was crying. You're like, why are you crying? I was like, because I dug deeper, because I pushed harder. And I was crying because I was so happy about pushing myself, even though I'm like, 45 minutes into cardio, and I'm like, I'm so exhausted, and I'm pushing, and I'm pushing, and I'm pushing, and my heart rate's at 150, and I'm like, let's freaking go. Like, and that's where since then I've been in a better mood because it feels like it's been so hard for me to hit that heart rate. It's been really disappointing. And that's, you've seen it. You've seen it. I've been so disappointed. I've been like, I'm trying so hard. What am I doing wrong? Why can't I get there? And it's because I wasn't allowing myself to go.
You put a limit on yourself.
I put a limit on
Right.
myself. I was like, I don't want
I'm
to hurt my
trying
knees.
as hard as I can.
I don't want to hurt my knees. My knees
Pushing
are
as far as I
hurting.
can go.
Yeah, I'm pushing as hard as I'm giving myself grace. And I think it was like this shift in my mind of like, okay, it's just discomfort. It's not going to break anything. It's not going to pull anything. It's just this discomfort because they're tired, right?
Yeah.
And so, and then,
Right. It's like Goggins says, stay hard. You gotta push through the pain.
yeah. No, and literally you have to push through the pain. But I think there's a healthy way because it's like, obviously you don't want to hurt something, but it's like there is a point where it is the mind telling you, uh-oh, like it played tricks on
Yeah,
you.
Goggins, he's always saying that. He was like the mind. You always think you're less capable than you actually are, and he pushed himself. Like he read parts of his book, and he talks about during his Navy SEAL training, and he was like, every time my mind called upon my body to do more than I thought was possible, my body performed, and I was like, that's crazy. He described like how beat up what his body was and everything, and it always lived up to the task. And then he realized that it was his mind that constantly was the limiting factor.
It's the limiting factor, yeah. And like, so it's like I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to do this. And I'm like, let me just dig deeper and see how far I can go.
What you're actually capable of.
And so when I hit that heart rate, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can do this. So then today, I'm like, no problem.
Yeah.
Hitting it, no problem.
Yeah.
It's a great day. Got that cardio going, got that heart rate up, pushing even harder, and if the knee starts to hurt, then whenever, like, I'll just tape it up, right?
Yeah, and there's always some risk, but you gotta risk something to achieve what you haven't achieved.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you've already done the easy stuff. You've already achieved what you think you could. If you want to go past that, you gotta risk something. So yeah, maybe it could have happened. Your knee could have gotten hurt, and that might have set you back. But also, what could have happened is exactly what did happen. You realize you can push a little bit further. You can use some tape. You can use a brace to help ease some of the discomfort, and then you can push. And now you're on the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. On the other side of it, it's very rewarding. Feel like that part of my brain is definitely getting bigger.
Yeah, and then the more you do that, the more you start to second guess every time your brain says something like, I think this is as hard as I can go.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute, I've pushed past this point before.
And I notice it's helping me in all areas of life. Like, in stuff that, like, when I get in my head about other things, I'm kind of noticing how I can shift in differently, and getting present to like, oh, this is kind of bothering me. And normally I would spiral, and I'm like, oh, not today. Not something that we're going to focus on, like, it's interesting. So I have the willpower to shift my mind. When before I thought, oh, I'm just gonna spiral. I don't have control over it. I do have control, I do have control where my mind goes. I can't control my thoughts, the first thought at least.
Yeah.
But it's like the second one, I can control it from spiraling, right?
Yeah.
I can say, you know what, we're not gonna focus on this. We're gonna focus on something else. And so, like, if I get in my head about something, I'm like, I'm just going to go read the Bible, or I'm going to pray, or I'm going to go listen to some music, and I'm not avoiding it, but I'm also choosing to shift out of something that is not supportive to me.
Yeah, it's like you can't control life, but you can choose how you navigate it.
Sure.
So, like, your thoughts come up, you can go down that rabbit hole, and you've done it before. You know where that leads.
I know where it leads.
Or you can choose to look at it and say, no, not today. I'm just moving on past it, right past it.
Yeah, it's like, it came up as like a neighborhood. I saw it in the neighborhood, and I said hi, and I said bye as I drove off. And so it's like a healthy thing of like not letting it also affect you or dwelling on it, or, it may be something that comes up and then shifting, right? And having the ability to shift past it. So I think it all plays together, like the willpower of training your body. It's pretty powerful.
It's all connected.
It's all
Your
gonna be
body, your mind,
yeah,
your spirit, your religious connection.
yeah.
All of it's tied together.
Oh, for sure. So it's definitely I feel like right now I have tunnel vision and I know if something's gonna set me off, I will intentionally choose to not obviously I'm gonna be exposed to stuff, but I'm gonna choose we're not gonna go. We're not gonna go that
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's how you achieve amazing things. You need that tunnel vision. Like people talk about uh, um, a balance, but I think the mistake a lot of people make is they're not thinking in a long enough time frame. They think, how do I balance my life for today?
Yeah.
But you can't do that because you're not going to get anywhere.
No, you
You,
can't.
you balance your life over a year, 2 years, 5 years. So
Sure.
for the next 6 months, you might be only focused on this competition because you want to put all your effort there. And the other things are going to fall off because we all only have a certain amount of time in a day at the same time.
Right.
But after that, you begin to balance your other parts of your life back.
Yeah.
You focus on something else.
I know, and I think for me, what's come up is like friendships and not me not showing up as a friend, or but then also after everything that I went through, a couple years ago with friends, I feel like I'm also hesitant to dive into a lot of friendships. So what has been coming up is friendships, and I realize, you know what, that's not my focus right now, and my true friends will still be there after this, but it does present to me who are the true friends, right?
Yeah.
It's like who are the true friends and also like friends come and go. Like I feel like I've been like this whole thing about I've always wanted a large group of friends and within the last 2 years I realized I'm good. Like I'm good with not having a large group, and I'm good with even that like
It's quality.
it's quality, but it's also, like, having friends that, feel safe with, having friends that I can be open and honest with, and vice versa, and so I think that's what's been coming up for me because 'cause I'll, like, see things, I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna shift. We're not gonna focus on this 'cause currently right now, in this time and space, it doesn't matter." Not that people don't matter and friendship don't matter, it's just in this point in my life, I have tunnel vision, I have a goal, and I can't get distracted.
And I think like with the friends thing, like you want to attract people that are trustworthy, people that are good friends, people that are secure and they don't get insecure and try to tear you down. And you attract that by being that yourself. So when you focus on like goals and you're trying to succeed, those are the people that you begin to attract. And I think Alex Ramosi says this like a real friend is someone that supports you no matter what, and or something like that. And he's like, and then the more you focus and achieve your goals, you're gonna realize how few real friends you have.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and it's like
yeah.
that's so true. But would you rather have 20 friends that are acquaintances and maybe like try to slightly tear you down behind your back because you're achieving more than them, or
Sure.
your achievements highlight what they haven't or what they've given up on,
Yeah.
or would you have two friends that cheer you on no matter what?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I think that's what's mattered to me is, like, I don't need a lot, and currently, like, even since moving here to Arizona, like, I haven't really invested in spending time and getting to know people, because 'cause I've been healing and recovering, just from
And then you jumped into this.
a past experience, and yeah, and then I jumped into this, like, we moved here in Arizona in June, and I jumped into this competition October, November. So, I was like, "Let's shake it up," and I've been preoccupied with this, and it's been amazing, and along the way, I've met people, and along the way, I've got to know people, and I've healed. I'm healing, and I'm moving forward, and it's been such a rewarding and powerful experience, and it has given me a lot of perspective of now that I'm rebuilding my community here in Arizona, and I still have my community in California and stuff, but now that I'm rebuilding, I'm like very selective on what is it that I want. Yeah, definitely friends that are not insecure and who can be themselves and can be open and honest and I think like that's what I'm really excited about as I'm like into this new chapter of my life of like what I will and won't allow and kind of just not putting up with the nonsense. And so, yeah, willpower, man. It's all areas of your life. It's not just with fitness. It's like,
Yeah. It's like it makes sense when you are suffering in certain areas of your life. Pick somewhere that you can start taking steps on. You don't have to fix all of it at once. Get
Yeah.
it overflows. It carries over less.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not ready to face your social life or past issues with friends. Maybe you're not ready to face certain aspects, but fitness is something that calls to you.
Yeah.
I'll start taking those steps and making some big gains there, and then it spills over to the rest.
Sure.
And then or your career, focus on your career for a while, and you can start getting success there, get your raise, whatever. Then that builds your confidence, builds willpower to like push past things, and that spills over to your social life, spills over to your fitness life, right?
Yeah, I mean, since moving here, I focused on content creation and building that and even doing a couple training programs with that. And then diving into this fitness and bodybuilding has overflowed in allowing me to heal in other areas of my life, which has been absolutely amazing. Even just showing up differently, even just having a more positive attitude. Like,
Yeah, like you made the kids food yesterday. Oh, look at that spillover.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Showing up not just for myself, but for others.
because the more you do, the more you fill your own cup, and then you have extra. You're not pouring out of your cup.
Which is what I used to do. I used to pour for everybody else. I used to pour for everybody else at my own expense. There was a friend that I had, and I had 2 gym memberships just so I can go to the gym with her. Like, literally,
And you took it upon yourself to do that. You didn't
they didn't ask me to do that. I took it upon myself to do that because they wanted me to go to the gym with them, and I did not have their gym membership, so I paid for 2 gym memberships so that I could go to the gym with them. Yeah, so it was one of those things, like, and that was me because I am that kind of person. I am a people-pleasing, bend over backwards.
There's a way you do it incorrectly,
I do
which you
it.
discovered, and then there's a way you can do it properly, where you filled your own cup so much that you have a lot to overflow and give,
Sure.
and that's when you begin to give it. You begin to help and people please the people you want to.
Yeah.
But it's not emptying your cup, so you're not
Mm.
expecting anything back because you're full. Anything else is like gravy.
So, yeah, I'm just filling my own cup, and it's overflowing in big ways, and it's been pretty powerful to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching.
Stay hard.